So we'll do the gossip in this hour. We'll do the mystery year. We'll do the 1 minute moan. Let's start now without stopping. On you go, Alan. What's the next thing?
One of the things that we generally complain about a lot in this country is...
Don't complain on this show.
Oh, no, never, not on this show. But society as a whole is like binge drinking youths.
Yeah, which I have to say is a bit of a, not a myth, but it's definitely a misconception, I think.
Yeah, well, one of the things that we don't suffer from in this country, fortunately, is a problem they have in Sweden, which is drunken elks.
They're going to say drunken elves. Slightly has that problem at Christmas time. Tell me more. I'm intrigued.
No, this was covered in lots of papers, lots of the newspapers.
Well, it wasn't in my one.
You're reading the wrong paper, sir. There are actual photographs in the paper I've got here.
Got to stop reading Sheep Hustlers Weekly. So inform those who buy quality dailies and don't see these stories. Go on.
Right, basically the problem is around autumn time there are lots of apples that are grown in Sweden for various reasons, and they start to ferment as they get overripe. And the elks and the moose and what have you, they absolutely adore these. But as they're fermenting, they end up with a stomach full of alcohol, and they end up sort of raging drunk.
Yeah.
And there was one. It was decided it was going to try and climb a tree.
Okay, yeah.
It was going to try and climb an apple tree just to get one last apple, and it slips and it got stuck. Okay. And it's making all sorts of noise, and a couple of the local residents were a bit concerned. The first guy on scene thought somebody was taking the mick. He said somebody's having a laugh here, but realised it wasn't. This thing, it was stuck in the fork of this apple tree. There's only one leg left on the ground, which was swinging around frantically trying to get itself loose.
Yeah.
So him and some neighbours, they called the local authorities and decided that they'd send a hunter out. And neighbours are a bit worried. I mean, this animal's perfectly fine. Yeah. So we'll get some saws. And they sort of cut loads of branches off to try and free the animal. It didn't work. Then the hunter turned up with his saw and cut some more branches off, and that didn't work. Finally, they got the fire brigade there, who managed to wrap a rope around the tree and bend the tree slightly, which was enough to release the elk. Who staggered for about 4 or 5 yards and then collapsed.
Did he spend the night in a cell?
No, they left him on the lawn. Medical crew turned up just to check that he was okay. And by the morning, they reckon this thing had sort of like shuffled about 10 or 15 yards, slept it off, and wandered away with a screaming hangover. Yeah. But they were just saying that it was obvious that this animal had been out on an absolute bender all day, because one of the women, local residents, said, "Oh, I know that elk. He ran into my car earlier."
I know that elk. If you are an elk fan and you can recognise elks by their faces, well, number one, you need a new hobby, but number two, give us a ring and tell us why. The number is 07900 171 453 if you want to text us. We're going to do the mystery year in a second or so. Actually, you funny you say about apples, though. Obviously, make cider from apples. But a friend of mine swears by not necessarily having a hangover, but the following morning to revive your body. She always carries with her, if she goes around a friend's house and she stays over, she always carries an apple that she eats the following morning. Because there's the whole thing about what do you have the next morning to eat or to drink to get over a hangover, or just having had a bit too much, but you're not hungover, but you just feel groggy. Some people say, drink plenty of water, but then again, if you drink water the next morning, it simply tastes of the alcohol that's in your mouth. Yep. Coffee, tea, and all that. But she swears by eating an apple the next day, because I think it does stomach acid. It lines your stomach, or at least it releases chemicals that break down. Yeah. It gives your body a bit of a health kick in the morning. Braeburns. She'll only have Braeburns.
Other apples are available.
So if you're walking down and you see a girl with a handbag and she's got Braeburns in a handbag, it's probably Ailey that's going for a night out and she's got apples, and it's quite odd.
I'm terrible. I swear by a large black coffee and a huge fry up.
Oh, okay, alrighty. Well, no, that's good. Yeah, I haven't had a good English breakfast for a while, actually.
Yeah, I'm trying to think which comedian it was. It was somebody who came out with the great line and said the best way to avoid hangovers is to stay drunk.
Yeah, just keep drinking.
Yeah, just stay drunk.
But we'll
Though we don't condone that.
No, we don't.
Definitely not.
Unless you invite us. We'll do
Pimm's.
Yeah, Pim. Yeah, well, it's the weather's turning. You can't really drink it. I was going to wear my.
Oh dear,
that was awful. Sorry about that. That was meant to be funnier than it sounded. I was going to wear boat shoes today. I have a pair of boat shoes that I got and I haven't worn. And I said to a friend last night, I'm going to wear them tomorrow as long as it's not raining when I leave the house. But it was drizzling.
Oh,
which is a
that's
bit of a
right.
cop out. But if it's sunny tomorrow at the weekend, I'm going to wear them. And she wanted me to take a photo of my feet to prove it.
But the thing is, say, with boat shoes, you're supposed to wear on boats, and boats are generally sort of wet. So the more time
That's
to
the
use them
point.
is when it's raining.
That's the point. Yeah. Perhaps I should get down to cold water.
Yeah, what sort
Pedalo
of?
or something.
Yeah, hire out, borrow one of those little dinghies they've got down there.
Yeah. We're going to play a bit of Dire Straits, and then we're going to do the Mystery. That's going to be some of the headlines that were in the news back on this date, back when. Try and guess that. And we'll also play 2 songs, the number 1 single and a song from the number 1 album as well. Alan's going to be doing the guessing, which he always is. And if you want to play along as well, play along and tweet us. Our name on Twitter is... Oh, you've got your pen. There you go. Our name on Twitter is Round Swindon. It's all in lowercase and it's all one word. And you can follow us and you can tweet us your guesses as we go along. First of all, though, here is Dire Straits.